Welcome to another episode of the Free Idea Podcast with me again. Can you believe that I actually followed my own free idea? Last episode, I was talking about how I should split these videos while recordings, and I did. Damn, am I following my own advice finally? And I'm split them. Uh, Last time I was talking about um, lie detectors. And if we make lie detectors, can we make sarcasm detectors? Because that'd be hella funny. And it should be mandated that a sarcasm detector is in every office and school and retail place. Just so that, you could be sarcastic as you want. And the alarm just sounds and the customer and the person in front of you knows you're being sarcastic. Um, Anyways, I'm not going to explain some more because I already did a lot. I'm just moving on with more detective devices. What else can we detect with our technology? Imagine if we could detect feelings, if we could detect emotions. Would you want that? If the device was small enough for whatever reason, you can detect all emotions. Which one would you like to detect? What if you can detect love or fear or happiness? What if you could detect negotiation or malice? What if you're in front of a person that gives you, have you ever met that person that always gives you that murderous feeling? Like, I know you're a killer and you have like 1,000 skeletons in your closet and under your house. And I can't pinpoint what it is, but you give me the iffy feeling. Um, and then you have a detector for this. So you're not relying on your, what do you call it, conscience or gut feeling. Imagine a gut feeling detector. That would be fun. If you could, how would the world change if you could do that? You could detect what people are. Would that be a truth teller? Would that be like impossible to lie? No, I don't think it would be. I think it would just be it can detect something. Um, what else? What else? Feel like this is pretty good. We've never, you know how we developed the lie detector technology? I'm so curious to know how we developed that and what they're looking at. And then I'm even more curious if you can detect other things instead of just lying. Because lying, I know it's like heart rate and temperature of the body whenever you give certain answers. And I guess they memorize these patterns and then maybe they do some other stuff. But, can we detect something else? And imagine detecting ghosts. That one is funny. I'm thinking of ghosts because right now I'm in a place that is very dark and I could be murdered here. No, nobody would care. It would just drive around my car. I would just be another cause of traffic. And imagine you have this device that can detect ghosts. And there's already many out there that, maybe work, maybe don't. I don't know. I don't know. But let's just make them practical. It's in your phone and it beeps every time. It has like the way that you get phone calls. Your phone will start beeping on its own when it detects an entity near you. And it's almost like a ringtone. But the way we just memorize that little ring, that's a ringtone, there's another one for ghosts that we will also memorize because we hear it all the time. It's gonna be something like ling long, whatever. And sorry, this is a Chili's. May I take your order, please? Your phone could say something like that. And then when you hear, you'll go, oh, there's a ghost in here. What would the use for that be? Absolutely no idea. Completely and utterly useless. Since we can't speak to ghosts. And if you did, would you really want to talk to them? Like, come on, man. Think about it. All of you are thinking about your loved ones, and you're like, yes, I would love to, and this and that. But what are the chances that that's who you're talking to? Man, I can't see if this is green. Oh, it is. Fuck. All right, there we go. That thing was stopping that whole thing. Anyways, um, yeah, you think you're gonna be talking to your loved ones, and that's cool and all. And if you did, you probably just tell them how much you miss them and love them, and they'll tell you how much they miss you and love you. And I'll kind of die there. Just be like, and then researchers would use it to try to figure out what's in the afterlife by asking questions about it. And it's weird. Uh, maybe one day, maybe one day we'll make email for ghosts. But let's imagine that you don't actually talk to your family or somebody you want to. Instead, you just talk to a random person. Well, you could talk to a random person right now in the street. That's it. Imagine you actually just contact the ghost and you get that secondhand like anxiety that everybody always gets when meeting somebody new. Like, how's the weather? What's your name? Oh, what's your favorite color? And you're like, aren't we adults talking right now? You're like, who am I talking to? And he's like, oh, I'm a 3-year-old. I'm like, oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm out. And I ain't going to the ghost police for this one. Yeah, you think you're gonna be, maybe you're talking to a homeless soul out there. The ghost starts asking you for drugs, and you're like, no, I don't have drugs, man. And then the ghost starts asking you for money, and you're like, sorry, I said I don't have money. And it says, come on, I take credit cards. And you're like, man, I'm shutting off this device. I don't want to talk to ghosts no more. All they do is they want some of my ectoplasm right now. I got no money for it. The same is the same idea as if animals spoke, and you think they're gonna talk to you incredibly well and tickle your brain with some interesting puzzles. And what the hell is this? Anyways, and instead, they just repeating random words like ball and I want to reproduce because the birds are singing and they're just screaming saying I want to reproduce and get the hell out of my electric line. This is my electric post. And you just hear all these birds beefing with each other, and you're like, yeah, I thought Mother Nature was beautiful. And then all you hear is like, I'm gonna eat you up, and it's like a mosquito uh in your ear. And then all he says is, I'm gonna eat you up. And he never stops saying that. He just is annoying as his little flying. And he really never changes that conversation. It never goes any different than I'm gonna eat you up. You go, all right. All right. I liked it when you just made noises with your wings. Oh, this is a gold mine. If you could make trees, if you could make trees speak. Um, is it true? I heard that if is this is one of those TikTok things that if you have a have we gotten into this situation economically now that people are thinking of making cemeteries in their backyards to get a tax credit? I've been hearing that if you bury somebody in your backyard, you get a tax credit as a cemetery. I'm 100% sure that if the government figures that out, they're gonna be like, nope, nope. You gotta be a cemetery if you pay your taxes and your certificate, and you at least have 12 people under your backyard. But if it's true, I do wonder what the limitations are and how motivated people would get to start burying anything and anybody in their backyard. In fact, they may just offer it. They'd just be like, it may just be like, those commercials that are on the side of the road that says, "I buy junk cars, or I buy junk houses." It'll just say things like, "I'll buy your dead person." Tired of expensive fees, $5,000 to $10,000 to bury somebody in a cemetery? Get the hell out of here! And you get tax credit? Oh, fuck out of here! All right. I'll bury him for you in my backyard for $200 and a case of beer, and maybe if you help me with a shovel. Yeah. And you'll see those signs all over the place if this gets popular. What is it? You have a dead person. I don't know what would it say. I buy junk cars. I buy dead people. That's what it would be. I will buy your deceased. And so you just make this arrangement with this person, drive to their backyard. They have a little picnic area for you. Have the whole ceremony as much as you want. And you can do all the weird things you want to do because it's not regulated. And I mean all the weird things you want to do. And then you bury that person and you forget about it. And when you want to visit your dead person, that person has to allow you into their backyard. So you got to knock. And maybe you don't even have to knock. You just go into the back area by yourself. You just open the door and you just like start talking. That'll be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'll be weird. No, but you'll get a tax credit. So you're having family dinner and having breakfast, and it's an incredible Saturday. And then this person just walks in through your backyard door, and you hear him sobbing incredibly, like crying loud. As you're having eggs and beans, as you're having eggs and beans with your family and your child. And this person, you can see it through the, like, you know how people have that sink and they have that little window by the sink? You can see like a hunched over shadow figure just walking and crying with flowers. And then he gets to the backyard and puts the flowers down into the tombstone. And you're just there awkwardly looking at your wife and child, trying to be serious because this is a serious moment. But honestly, you don't really care because you don't know the person or anything. It's just tax evasion or whatever you call it. And yeah, you just have like a normal meal, or and then the person just stays there for hours, and you're like, okay, I guess I wanted to cut the grass today. Should I cut the grass with a person in there? I actually wanted to do a barbecue this morning and invite the family. I think I have to postpone it. I have to tell this person to meet me. Hey, you mind? I'm gonna have a barbecue here. That's just weird. That is weird. I don't think you can offer those services. It's gonna get weird. Imagine you watching Netflix, like watching a really cool movie, and then that same scenario happens. That's weird. You just hear people crying all the time. Even that's gonna be scary if the person decides to visit at night. Like, you're gonna have to put some hours in that. It's gonna become a real business hours and everything. What the hell was that? Is this red? Damn, this trailer, I can't really see nothing. This trailer is covering all the lights, all the traffic lights. It's way too high and I'm way too low. Like that airplane that crashed. Apparently the people in the plane were called way too low. It was 3 people that died, 3 Chinese guys. Their names were way too low. The airplane crashed. Funny joke. It was in the news. Imagine if it's like, what's that house app that everybody kind of loved for a while until it got a little too corporate, and then started hitting you with the fees. I forgot it. But is that one thing that people use instead of hotels? They go to houses of people. So imagine that, but with dead people. You want to bury your dead person in my backyard? Go ahead. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, Monday through Saturday. Leave the Sundays for my dog and kids, please. I wonder if even the tax credit is worth it. Probably in this economy it is. Well, you can get rid of that if you just bury your loved ones. But then when you sell the house, what do? Does it lower the value of your home? Do the next people have to keep them there? Can they just unbury it and throw it somewhere else? Or can they just get rid of the stone? Is their house gonna be haunted now? Because like it was your family, so the ghost was chill with you. It was in fact welcoming and everything. But now that you moved, your ghost is gonna miss you. It's gonna start flaring up like a 5-year-old in your house for the new people. So now you have a ghost. God. Oh my goodness, people, the things they do for money. Things they do to not give money to the government. That and many more. That and many more. Rich people know. Something I wouldn't know. But it hurt. So, yeah, I hope this idea gets really popular and people start making cemeteries out of their backyards. And then what classifies as a cemetery? Can I bury a dog? Can I bury a fish? Can I just bury a fly? Can I bury my plants? Uh, can I bury my hopes and dreams? Put them in a box that's empty and then bury it. Can I do all that? Because they're gonna be loopholes. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that's not me. What if my house is like 10 acres and I just decided to put it on the last acre of my land, like 10 over there? In fact, I bury it the closest one to my neighbor, like right by the fence. And how close can I bury somebody in my backyard to my neighbor? Like, can I be right by the fence? Or will he get angry that like a little toe is stepping over his property? Like, sir, it's just a toe. All right. Yeah. Start towing the line in here. Can we get? I think it's so dumb. Can I put him in the middle, or do I have to call 811 to make sure I'm not digging through any phone lines or something? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. You're gonna bury your dead. Call 811. Make sure there's nothing on the ground, no pipes, and no cables. Um, yeah, wonderful idea, people. People of TikTok and Instagram, you figure it out. Best tax credit. Bury somebody in your backyard. I'm not even sure how much of that is true. Can I bury myself? Like, do I have to stay there? Can I just bury myself and say that I bury myself, but then, not really be dead, just be alive? The opposite of that. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, we have a contender that wants to turn right. All right, I see you. Yeah, you want to turn right there. You know what? Me too. Following. All right, me too. Let's do this together. We're both gonna take advantage of a loophole. Let's do it together. Damn, where am I? Looks like I'm in another state. Am I really going home? Did I really put the right address in here? Damn, I did. Um, Beautiful ideas. I tell you that. Feel free to get him. Feel free to bury. Feel free. I'm not even gonna say it feels illegal. You know what I was about to say. It's part of it's just free ideas here. That's what the internet says. All fun and jokes. All right. I don't even know. Yeah. Do not even blame me for burying people in your backyard as a tax credit. I don't even know. I just saw a comment on Instagram. That's it. That is it. Now here's a cool but cruel idea. Get those tables are incredible, right? Kitchens, they're incredible. The ones I love have these chairs out of rug, beautiful rug, so that I can cook things and it never gets stained. I could put turmeric and all that stuff, Indian spices, never a stain. Just wipe it down. But this fake wood and fake furniture, it gets stained and it never goes away and it looks like that forever. So here's an incredible idea, right? Cemeteries, when you gotta do a big clean out, give away those rocks or sell them. You want to recycle those tombstones? Yeah. Sell them to people? Yeah. I'm gonna put some legs on that tombstone and make it into table. Yeah. Pretty sure every wife out there is gonna love this idea. Just tell your wife, I know exactly what coffee table we're gonna get. Uncle Rogers. We're gonna go get his tombstone. I heard the cemetery is doing a 50 off, and they just gotta make some space. All right. So that's one. We don't have furniture made out of tombstones for some reason. How about a walkway, a pathway for your house made out of tombstones? Okay, you're stepping on them. They're rocks. They're rocks. You gonna say what? Why you think the ghosts are like attached to those rocks now? You think they're any more attached to the blade of grass that grows around them than they are to the rock? Why are they not attached to the flower that grew on the grass? But the rock they are. I'm just joking. But if you do that, are you gonna get haunted or what? Are you gonna get like a pathway full of tombstones? So is your house gonna get haunted? Maybe some people want that. It increases the value of your property, or hear me out, it lowers the value of your property. You know how that's better? Less taxes. Yes, sir. And that's not evasion of taxes. That's following the rule of law. Nobody wants to buy your house. In fact, nobody wants to buy a neighborhood. You just haunted the entire place. You're welcome. You haunted the neighbors because it's right next to you. Uh, you haunted the ones behind you. Nobody is selling a house in that neighborhood thanks to you. So then property values are going down. You're welcome, America. In fact, just go to your neighbors and say, "You're welcome. I just lowered your taxes for next year." Yes, sir. And then whenever they want to sell the house, you just take a tombstone out. You're like, "All right, so which one are you?" You were like, 213 at Cannon Drive. Cool. So your ghost, what's his name of his ghost? Because we have these ghost detectors now. Finally, there's a use for these ghost detectors we were talking about recently, where you can speak to them. Boom, you ask them, Mr. Ghost, what's your name? And they go, my name is Rogers. Okay, um, hey, neighbor, can you take the tombstone of Roger out of your driveway, please, of your walkway? And you go, yes, sir, I can do. And then you take that tombstone. You throw it in the landfill. I mean, where else do these rocks end? Uh, and now you're gonna haunt the landfill or what? So, so you do that, and then Ghost Rogers leaves the house, and now your neighbor can sell the house, and the property value goes up again, and boom, he sells it right there and then. His description in Cello says, "Used to be haunted, but tombstone was removed." Boom, 30K up just for that reason, because why not? Uh, I think I just cracked the code, my guys. I think I just cracked the code. This and more just for free. And now you are beginning to understand why these ideas are free and why I'm not getting paid for any of this. In fact, I'm paying. I'm paying to deliver this to your ears. It cost me just to have this membership to upload videos. See? I'm paying for this. I think I do it for the fame and money, and I'm paying for it. I mean, I wish, but I I think that one was pretty good. I think that podcast was pretty good. I don't know what else we would do with tombstones. I'm pretty sure we do something silly with them already, like throw them into the trash. Because people would be like, "No, the ghost and the haunted, and you're just respecting the dead." I'm not saying about your uncle. I'm just saying some of these tombstones are 100 years old or 200. You could start with those. Some of these tombstones, you can even ask the family if they don't pick up the phone. They never visit. Like, give the families a voucher where they like stamp out a little card for every time they go into a cemetery. Like, if they never even get a card, just get the tombstone out of there. You sell it and recycle it. You know what I mean? Some people don't even visit. They don't even visit when they're alive, and they don't even visit when they're dead. I'm pretty sure it's weird. It's weird when I think about it, but these are the type of questions that some people live through every day, like the people that work at the cemetery. How do they make money? Once they say they sell a plot of land and they sell tombstone, why are they expected to be there forever for 300 years? No, I don't think so. Why do they just want to sell the land afterwards? Oh no, it's gonna be haunted. Well, get the ghost detecting devices I talked about, and talk to them and evict them or something. Tell them that they have to pay taxes, and then they'll move right away. They'll be like, "What? Back in my day, this used to be free." And I'll be like, "Yes, sir, but it sucks to be you." It's so tough. Thank you very much to listen to my very free idea podcast. I enjoyed talking about it. It's sad to say that I literally did an hour and 20 minutes and two podcasts in one trip to home. And yes, that is very sad to say, but what can I say? I'm a hardworking man that takes care of his family, and that's it. There's nothing else to do. I'm just going to try to follow my own advice and enjoy the suffering of what it is to be a provider. Thank you very much. Bye bye.